Welcome to The Point of View. This is your favorite current affairs show on television. On this show, we get the right guests, ask them relevant questions on issues that matter to you. And it's the day before the big second leg. The grudge match between Ghana and Nigeria is coming up. So we're dedicating The Point of View to football. The Ghana Black Stars face the Super Eagles on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Will it be a victory in Abuja, or will it be a bitter disappointment? I have a big panel to discuss that. We'll also talk about the 5 African qualifiers, who's going to qualify between the other teams that are playing. A very exciting show comes up right after this. Welcome back. So as you can see tonight, we're rooting for the Ghana Black Stars. So from the CK Akonot Stars to the Milo Stars, now they are the Otto Addo team. They played a pulsating 0-0 game against the Super Eagles of Nigeria on Friday. How good was that result? There's a big match tomorrow. We have our man in Abuja, Daniel Cranton. He will join us to give us a sense of what's going on. Is it true that the lights went off before our press conference? Did the Nigerians give us a short ladder, or we took our own ladder? What else is going to happen with the team? Are there any changes expected? Those are some of the questions we're asking tonight. I have a very big panel. In studio, head of Citi Sports, Fento Tairu. Fento, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Very good evening. Thank you.
Today I'm looking sports. You are looking official.
It's a Monday, so...
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I also have GFA Exco member Samuel Enim Addo, who we know to be affiliated with some of our best players as well. Samuel, great to have you. Good evening.
Nice to have you too.
Great to see you. I'll be joined from Kumasi by another journalist we talk to quite often from Muntumi TV. He's called Collins Atapoku. We'll be joined from Abuja by Daniel Cranton. And also for the first time on The Point of View, Ghana's ace left back Harrison Afful. These days he plays in the US. Some people describe him as one of our best left backs in a long time. They're all joining us tonight. And we have a few questions to ask. So how different is the Otto Addo Black Stars from what we saw with Milo and CK? That was our first round of questions. Then, is the 0-0 a good result or bad result? We'll ask about that too. And we'll also check about Abuja. Daniel Cranton landed in Abuja earlier today. We're scheduled to have a press conference. We don't know whether it was Doomsaw or NEPA, but obviously something happened there. We'll find out what's going on there as well. And then we'll also check on what the other 4 qualifiers mean. There are 4 other big games. Egypt is playing Senegal in the second leg. There's also Cameroon versus Algeria. There's Morocco playing DRC, and there's Tunisia versus Mali. All of that coming up. So let's start by introducing those in studio first. So Fento, I watched you last night talking about the team. Yeah. So just a quick take. Watching one game of the Otto Addo Black Stars, how do they compare to the Milo CK Black Stars? Better, worse, or the same?
I think it was a much better performance from the team. I always say that the reason a lot of Ghanaians were very angry about the exit from the AFCON wasn't necessarily because Ghana exited the competition in the group stages. It was basically because the style of football that Milovan Rajevac played was absolute rubbish. And you compare that to what we saw under Otto Addo, even though they didn't win the game, you can sense that a lot of Ghanaians were quite satisfied with the performance. And there was a bit more desire, there was a bit more structure, a bit more systematic in the way they went about it. And I think overall, there was also a certain boldness about his team selection that we didn't have under Milo.
How long did he have the players?
He basically trained them for 3 days. So he had a light training session with 7 players on the Monday. Then on Tuesday, they flew to Kumasi, had 1 training session. And then on Wednesday, another. Then on Thursday, another. And then that was all. And then he played the game on Friday. So he didn't have a lot of time. And he recognized that. He said that he didn't have a lot of time with the team. And he said that no national team coach ever has enough time with the team. So
is this not a new coach bounce that we see? You bring a new coach, everybody wants to impress, everybody does better after 1 or 2 games.
There could be, but you also have to look at the changes he made and the calls that he made, even from the starting 11. So it wasn't just like picking the same team and then every other player trying to prove a point or trying to do better than before. You look at the starting lineup that he took into that game against Nigeria. He named 2 teenagers in his attacking lineup, Afenajan and then Ishahaku. Milovan Rajevac had Ishahaku for all of the matches at the AFCON. He never played him when many people were calling for him to be played. You look at the decision to even play a player like Gideon Mensah. Milovan Rajevac had Gideon Mensah for all the matches at the AFCON. He never gave him 1 minute. He stuck with Baba Rahman, whose performance a lot of people criticized. So there were a lot of bold moves that he made in that particular game against Nigeria that were credence to his own ability as a coach. And so, you know, it might be early days yet.
But you could see a difference.
But you could see clearly that there was a system, there was a passing, even the way we pressed, the way we moved the ball from the back. Because under Milovan Rahivac, there was no system. Excuse me, but
really, it was that bad.
It was basically more or less like Frefre Kobo, to be honest. You know, no, at the AFCON, we played rubbish football. There was no system. You watched the game against Gabon. It was almost as if score and then park the bus and hope the opposition doesn't score. Against Morocco in the first game, we didn't have a plan to score at all. And I always criticize the style of football. I always say that you can tell that the team is improving, even if they are losing, by the performance. And at Milo, there was nothing to encourage me that things were going to get better.
Sammy, from the GFA perspective, do you agree that this was a much better performance than we saw at AFCON?
Well, it's a much better performance because if you look at the expectations of Ghanaians and if you look at the enthusiasm in the game, even the tactic, the way the boys were moving, because movement in the game is very critical. Football now is about movement. If you can move well from the start, where you start. You see, the Nigerians also deploy the strategy that they won't let us start. They know we are a good ball-playing team. So they always make sure they won't let us start.
So they were pressing and fouling.
Whenever we pick the ball, you see that Amate will open up, Jiku will open up, Idrisu will come
to the back
to pick the ball. So some people even blame Partey, but when you watch the game well, you can't blame Partey if you understand the game, because Partey was sandwiched with 3 people. Then when Idrisu picks the ball, it's always difficult to give it to
So Idrisu is Partey's partner in the 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, so
once Idrisu comes back
to pick, because he drops back to pick
and the wingers go forward.
So whenever he wants to start, sometimes you see he comes to Amate, sometimes he comes back to him, sometimes he goes to Jiku's side. So the coach has told them maybe sometimes in the first 10 minutes use Gideon's side. So they have a whole strategy.
So you could see a system.
You could see that there was a system. That one was so.
Is that why Otoado was brought? Is that why he was picked? Because we understand he did some work with Dortmund. Otoado seems to be. What was the remit? Because you are part of the GFA, right? The main
reason why he was picked, first of all, was because of the fact that he was more familiar with the boys. He has been with them. He knows most of the boys. So he will be able to understand how to know their strengths and their weaknesses and know how to make use of them. Apart from that, we also realized the time was so short. Like the Milo team, the same happened. The Milo team, the time was so short. You needed somebody to come in, quick fix. And sometimes you take that decision. And who is familiar? And that's how come Milo got it. But Otto's situation also came in the same way. But it's paid off. People are happy with the way we played. What I can tell you is that football, sometimes you will not get things the way you want because you'll be limited with time. But I can say that if we keep up with what we are doing, we'll have.
So the GFA is optimistic. You like what you saw in the first leg.
Exactly.
You like what you saw.
Yes.
What role did Chris Hilton play?
He will be also having that. He will be like an analyst in the course of the game. But when it comes to before the call-up, they will engage each other. This is good, this is the strength, this is why we need this is our system, this is what the Nigerians play. For that one, I think they did that. But in the course of the game, when it comes to tactic, movement, what is the Nigerians trying to do? How do we vary our game and all those things? I think he will play a role there where he will communicate with someone.
Was he on the bench or he was in the stands? He was on the bench.
Yeah.
Chris was on the bench with the team. So they discussed together.
They communicate and they will agree to do a.
So in terms of reading the game, there's Otoado, Chris Hilton, and
Didi, and then George Watson.
Wow, Didi Dramani. Oh, so those are the 4 brains on our bench.
Exactly.
They call them the Avengers.
But that's high level because George Boateng, we know he's played at the highest level.
Yep.
We know Didi Dramani is one of our best tactical minds in Ghana. We know what Chris Wilson has done with Brighton and all the teams, Newcastle. So these are the 4 who not just pick the team but also decide strategy as the game proceeds.
Exactly, and that's very crucial. That is one thing about football. If you don't have people who can read the game well and vary the game and try to change tactics and try to change movement and all that, you can be in trouble. If you look at this game, there were some instances that we lost concentration a bit and they nearly punished us. And those things are key. And I'm hoping that will never happen. And if it doesn't happen in Abuja, it's possible what some of us have seen will happen, that a 1-0 or a 1-1.
So if we don't make mistakes, we think we will beat the Nigerians? Or we'll draw?
There are mistakes everywhere, but you will limit it. And it's in games like this, one thing that I'm happy about is the fact that the young ones, the ones who've not played before, who've not seen that, what we wish for. I came here, I told friends that this is what I wish for. I want us to use the spirit of Baba Yara, the fans, and we got it. And I think I need to thank the fans of Kumasi, the media.
Kumasi came through for us.
It was super, and I was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And it's like, Charlie, thank you, Ghana. You did it for us, and we're so proud. We are going to. I told you we're going to resurrect bring back the love from that day, and everybody accepts that day.
Let me go to Kumasi and see if Atapoku can give me a more accurate rendition. So he's with Want to Meet TV, a journalist we know from Kumasi. So Enim is saying Kumasi brought back the love. Atapoku, thanks for joining us on The Point of View. Good evening.
Thank you for having me, Bernard. Good evening.
I can see your lips moving, but your mic is off, so please put it on.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Over here, the mic is on.
Great. I was expecting to see you in a Black Stars jersey, but no problem. How did Kumasi turn up for the Stars? The stadium was full, but give me a sense of the atmosphere and what the Kumasi fans did to help the Black Stars on Friday.
We've not seen something like this before.
Wow.
All this while. And according to the elders, the last time we had a similar atmosphere was when we played against
Egypt. Oh.
Morocco in the qualifiers for the 1998 World Cup, where we drew shots ahead through Mustafa and Sahalidin for us too. For them, even though the Black Stars went behind, they still rallied them on from start to finish. And it was a similar case. In Kumasi, in the first 15 minutes, they will make noise. When the goal is not in, then they sit down. But this time round, they cheered on the Black Stars from start to finish in a jam-packed stadium where people didn't care what was happening to them. And that it was like an incredible atmosphere. It was incredible. You've never seen something like this in a long while.
Why were the Kumasi fans so passionate? Was it an appeal that was made? Was it Otumfuo who said they should come out? What led the Kumasi fans to come out in such numbers for this game?
Well, as soon as the decision was made that the team was coming to Kumasi, we were all summoned and told that we are not journalists anymore. We are Ghanaians, so we must make sure the Black Stars come to Kumasi and get the atmosphere that would propel them to win. So we started speaking about the need for people to come to the stadium and the fact that the Black Stars team is not good enough. So if these people don't come, the Nigerians will overwhelm us. So everybody came to the stadium with a sense of responsibility and not entitlement. So they felt that, look, they had a part to play. So when news filtered in on the last day of training on Thursday that Alfantino was coming, and then we saw 3,000 people in the stadium watch the training, it was going to be a jam-packed stadium on Friday.
The Kumasi crowd historically is kinder to teams than Accra, because Accra, if you are not doing well, they'll let you know. But I'm told that it wasn't that easy initially for some of the players. So just give me a sense of how they cope with some of the bad play. For example, there was almost a penalty against Ghana. How did the fans take that? There was a mistake I think one defender made which almost cost us. Had it not been for VAR. Did the Kumasi fans at any point get angry? Did they start chanting Ofu and things? Or throughout the game they were for the team?
So they supported, but at some point they made their displeasure known. There were
network
occasions that we could all recall. The fourth corner kick taken by, and then they started shouting. Hello, Bernard.
Go ahead. So you're saying on the fourth corner kick, they started getting angry with the poor set pieces.
Yes. Jordan Ayew for his poor set piece delivery. And then he had another free kick on the right-hand side, and it was poor. And then there was a moment when they felt that a quick pass could have gone, and Kudus held on to the ball for long, and the opportunity was gone, and they were frustrated with that. So there are a couple of occasions that they made their frustration known, but it was quite consistent with the play of Jordan Ayew. They were just fed up with his lack of quality delivery from set play.
I'll come back to you on the performance itself, but stay with me. Thank you. Let me cross over to Harrison Afo, who's a former player of the Black Stars. Very quick left winger. What his initial thoughts are on this first performance? How does this team compare to the Milo team? Harrison, thanks for joining us on The Point of View. Good evening.
Thanks for having me. Good evening.
Fantastic. You have played in the team before. So I don't know how analyzing your colleagues would mean, but what did you make of our first leg performance against the Super Eagles?
Well, thank you for your question. And then I think first I'll say a big shout out to Kumasi for the love and then the support. And then the first game, we all knew what was at stake, and then the expectations, especially when it comes to Black Stars. So kudos to the guys, even though we couldn't get the 3 points, but I believe in the guys, and I hope they'll make things happen in the second leg. But with the comparisons about coaches, I mean, everybody has his own style of play. So for me as a player, I just psych myself and then go into the game, as what the coach wants me to do on the field of play. So I believe that's what my colleagues did.
Do you like what you saw? Do you like what you saw on Friday in Kumasi with the players, the way they were playing, their body language and everything? Do you like what you saw?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the passion alone makes a lot of sense, because the young guys were really hyped, and then they really went into the game really well. It was a physical game, so I really enjoyed myself. I really liked what I saw. As I said earlier, it was unfortunate we didn't get the 3 points, but all hope is not lost. I believe we can still win in Nigeria.
Sometimes football fans think the players don't care. Tell me what players think about when there's a big match like this. We, the fans, we just want you to beat Nigeria because they are our biggest rivals. We want to go to the World Cup. Is it important to players too, or you guys sometimes are thinking about your club, are thinking about money? What do the Black Star players think about when such games happen?
Everybody cares. If this is a job for us, this is what we do for a living. And then this brings it puts food on our table. So there's no way a player will go into a game and then will say, I'm going to play for fun. Before we used to play for fun when we were kids, but now it's a job. So and we get paid for this. Even the fans get angry when we lose. Let alone a player. So you could tell, we all care about everything. But sometimes in soccer, anything happens. So as soon as it happens, you just take it in good faith and then move on. Life still must go on. So I believe we just have to keep motivating ourselves and then always stay positive. That will make us go far. Before we take a break, I just have a final question for you. When you watch the team, which players excite you? I know that right now in the world of football, your position, left back and right back, are very offensive. If you go to Liverpool like this, their left back and their right back are they are most offensive players. When you look at our team, what excites you about the players? Which of the new players do you have expectations about when you see this new team? Well, I think all the guys did well, but I think we just need to keep supporting them, motivating them, especially Afena, who is a new guy in, who is young. We need to give him the support, and then also, give him the right, talks, and then make sure he goes into the game with the right mentality and then attitude. Also, Kudus is one guy who needs to be ready every time. When he stays fit, I think he helps the club a lot, the nation a lot. So we need to keep supporting them. Also, Gideon Mensah, a couple of them, all of them. So we just need to. I know you've played in many African countries. When we come back, I'll ask you about what it is like to play an away game before a hostile crowd. The stadium has 60,000 people. Everything is against us. What does that do to a team? Does that motivate or scare them? I'll come back to you, so please stay with me. This is the point of view. Tonight is a night of soccer. My guest, a large panel. I've spoken to Atapuku in Kumasi. I have Samuel Enimado here in Accra with Fento Tahiru, head of sports. Harrison Affo joining me. When I come back, the first thing I'll do is I'll go to Abuja and speak to Daniel Cranting. He landed in Abuja into some level of doom. So I don't know whether it is a football-induced doom, or it's just whether the light is back. Then we'll talk about the game against the Eagles in the second leg and what we must do to win. Send us your thoughts. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Welcome back tonight. We're rooting for the Black Stars. We have a big game against the Eagles tomorrow. If you're watching this on Tuesday, it's probably a couple of hours before the kickoff at 5 p.m. And we're asking where the Black Stars will do. Let me go to Abuja. Daniel Cranton landed there earlier today. How is the place? How are they gearing up for the match? Have they started any diabolical things? Danny K, good evening. If you can hear me, thanks for joining us on The Point of View.
Good evening, Bernard. I'm very good.
You look very fine. Is there light in your hotel?
Yes, there's light in my hotel. But the interesting thing is that when I touched down at the Abuja airport, the lights went off 4 times before the Black Stars arrived. So I waited there for an hour for the Black Stars to arrive. And then within that hour, the lights went off 4 times. I counted.
Wow.
Very interesting stuff.
Could it be because of our game, or did you ask whether it was a normal occurrence or whether this was because of the game?
I was reading the reactions, and if you read the reactions, you can tell that it was normal. You see, usually in Ghana, when the lights goes off, people will shout, "Oh!" When it comes out, it's "A" because of excitement. But at the airport, the lights went off. Everybody was going about their business as normal. I was like, "What's a very normal occurrence over there?" So I just got the hint, and I saw that okay, this is probably a part of their daily lives in Nigeria.
So what people are saying about the press conference and the light going off before is not really the case, because I'm told the light went off before the Ghana press as well.
Yes. So whilst the Black Stars were training, so they finished like majority of their training session, and they were going through the set piece training. That's like the last thing they do before the end. And then the lights went off. So when the lights went off, they just decided to start Shin Jama. And that was around the same time that we expected the head coach and then Gideon Mensah to come in for the presser. So it was around that time where the lights went off. And the interesting thing was that it didn't just go off and come off. It was going off and come. Typical Doomso, like off on, like about 6 or 7 times in about 5 minutes. And then finally we had a power restored and we could continue with.
So this was the training at the exact time the match will happen, because the game is at 5 p.m. So this is the away team 5 p.m. training that this happened.
Yes, the last training session before the game tomorrow. But the good thing is that the team had basically finished training. They had gone through their tactical training, through their drills. It was down to set piece training. They started with about 5-10 minutes into that, and then the lights went off, and it interrupted that. And then,
what are the Nigerian media saying? What are the Nigerian fans saying about this game? What are their expectations?
So Ben, it's very interesting. When I was in Ghana, we all felt that over here people were hyped up for the game, people were preparing for the game, but the reality in Abuja is very different. A lot of people are very nonchalant about the game. They don't really care. People that we've spoken to about the game in Abuja don't really care. And there were a couple of journalists we spoke to asking them why people were having that sort of attitude towards the Super Eagles. And they said that's basically it in Abuja. People in Abuja don't really care about their football. They need to be forced to go to the stadium. And I didn't believe that until the end of the Nigerian presser, where an announcement was given in the press room from the sports minister telling journalists that they were going to give them free tickets to invite their family and friends to the game. So it gave everybody that indication that they were probably struggling to sell tickets.
Wow.
Tickets are not sold out by this time, exactly. And then they're a bit worried because we're speaking to a couple of journalists and they were telling us, one guy put his word down. He said he could bet me all the money I have that the 60,000 will not be full tomorrow, unless they go and open the gate for fans to come in free. That's how bad it is.
That means Abuja, they are that about people, pal. But do you know why the game was sent there? Because I know they usually play in different parts. They have Lagos, they have some parts of the East, Calabar and things. Do you know why they chose Abuja for this game?
So the indication was they played during the qualifiers. They played at a number of different places, but this is a newly renovated stadium. It's 60,000, the biggest stadium they have in the country. So of course it's also the capital. So they thought it was nice to crown off the FIFA World Cup qualifying series at home in the capital in front of the Abuja fans. But when you speak to journalists and you speak to people there, you get that indication that initially they thought this decision would pay off. They thought that bringing the game of this magnitude against Ghana to Abuja will pay off. But funny enough, I don't know if it's down to promotion. I don't know if it's just down to the attitude of the people in Abuja, as the journalists are saying, their nonchalance about football. But you can tell that there's a genuine worry that tomorrow the fans might not come in their numbers to cheer the team.
It seems to me as if the Nigerian team struggles at home. When I watched the qualifiers, they didn't do that well at home. Is there a concern there that they probably missed their chance by not scoring in Kumasi?
Yeah, that's another worry over here, because a number of people we've spoken to, journalists, sports analysts, are talking about how much they wish they had scored a goal in Kumasi. Because in the qualifying series, they didn't score. It's not that they were just not winning at home. They also didn't score a lot of goals at home. And that's where their worry is. Despite the flurry of attacking players that they have, the quality of attacking players that they have struggled to score at home. And this is under two different coaches. Of course, they blanked against Ghana. They blanked against Tunisia. They scored just one against Egypt. In fact, in the group stages in the AFCON, they were not that prolific goal scorer. They were nice to watch. They were creating chances, but in terms of finishing the ball in the back of the net, they were not doing that. And that's the worry, because it's under two different coaches. Gernot Rohr took charge of the first half of this, and that's the 6 games in the group stages leading up to this playoff. And then Austin Eguavon is taking over this. Another thing that also is worrying them is Ghanaians always go at our coaches. Everybody has their reservations about coaches, but the Nigerians are not convinced about Augustine Eguavon. They say he's too predictable. They say his attacking tactics or his attacking formation is basically out wide. He doesn't. If you're able to cut out the supply out wide, he doesn't have any other plan B. He doesn't have any other plan to be able to cut open defenses. And per what they saw in Kumasi, the fact that Ghana were able to cut our supply from the wings, and we had Dennis Odue in conjunction with Jordan Ayew and then Gideon Mensah having a very good game that day, which caused the likes of Musin Simon, Chukwueze to have a very poor game going forward in the game against the Black Stars in Kumasi. They are very worried that if Ghana repeats a similar game plan, they will struggle to create chances and struggle to score. And also, when you speak to people, the fact that the away goal rule is now in play, they are very scared, because they know that once Ghana scores a goal, they will have to score 2 goals to win. Once Ghana score a goal, it means that Nigeria now have to win the game. A draw will not be enough, because a score draw will favor Ghana. So there are a lot of worries around when you speak to people over here. The same way we are here and we think Nigeria are favorites, that's the same way they are here and they also think Ghana can upset them.
All right. Finally, what is the mood in Ghana camp? You saw part of the training. You were with the team. What's the camaraderie in the team? What? Just give us a sense of the vibe in the Ghana team.
It's very interesting. Look, they are so relaxed, and you will not expect them to be this relaxed.
Wow.
You can tell, even in the press conference, Gideon Mensah was asked a question about the pressure. They asked him what it would mean if Ghana didn't qualify for the World Cup. And he said they are not thinking about not qualifying for the World Cup. They are thinking about facing Nigeria tomorrow and getting the result. That is where their mind is. So if tomorrow by this time we don't qualify, then you should ask him the question. But for now, they are not thinking about not qualifying for the World Cup. And you can see they were all smiles going about their paces. Look, it's nice to see that they are not putting too much pressure on themselves. On the other hand, when you listen to the Nigerian press conference with Eguavon, they repeatedly had to assure people we would win. Don't worry, we are going to get the result. You can tell that there's pressure on them. You can tell that they know that if they don't qualify, it will be an upset. Whereas in the Ghana camp, they are like, we've played very well in the first game. Otuado said it himself. He said they played very well in the first game. He's happy that people acknowledge that. And that's what Fence was alluding to in his earlier statement. People acknowledge that the style of football was different from what we saw under Milovan Rajevac. We were more expansive. We played with a bit more passion. And he's happy that people have acknowledged that. So it's a building process. They are not really thinking about failure if they don't qualify for the World Cup. And that was positive to see from the body language of the Black Stars players.
Wow. I'll come back to you. Let me just take some quick reactions around the table. This is interesting. The Abuja Stadium may not be full, this is the Nigerian fans are not as optimistic, and we are sitting in Ghana saying, "Oh, Nigeria have so many strikers and things." But this is serious.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, it is not so surprising. We interact with Nigerian journalists on a daily basis, and everything Daniel said about the Abuja Stadium has been a major issue of concern right from the start, right from the very day they decided the game would be played in Abuja. And it's not like they had a choice, because all of the matches from the group stages were played in Lagos. The Lagos pitch was declared not good enough. And Nigeria came up with a strategy, and this is credit to their sports minister. They came up with a strategy where he asked big entrepreneurs in Nigeria to adapt the pitch. They call it the adapt the pitch. Adopt the pitch.
Wow.
And guess what? It was Aliko Dangote who adopted the Abuja pitch.
Wow.
And by the time the World Cup qualifying playoff matches came around, the pitch was in pristine condition, and they decided that this is an excellent condition, let's take the match there. It wasn't so much of this is where we get the most support. It was more a case of, okay, this is the facility that's good enough to host a match. So they took the match there. And I have seen reports from Nigerian journalists who say that the sports ministry has also hired as many as 100 buses
to convey people.
Around Lagos.
When we were looking for tickets to Kumasi, we were not getting.
Yes, and then they have bought 20,000 free tickets.
Serious?
To be distributed to people in Abuja, and many people still believe to not be interested. So it really does. There is a genuine concern about them not filling that 60,000
So
capacity.
Sammy, when we are here saying bring back the love, even with the low love we have, Kumasi, we are not getting tickets. Then when the love comes back, I mean, are you shocked hearing such things?
I'm not shocked. Fent knows my position, and I've stated it clearly that this is the reason why we will qualify ahead of Nigeria. The first problem they have had, now I can speak one of it. I can open up a little. They have too many strikers, and they've never been scoring. They say we don't have a striker. They should go and check. That's 9 or whatever strikers that they have. They have not been scoring. And there's pressure on them in their country more than us. And at the same time, their people don't even believe in them. And you see, Ahmed Musa said they are going to break the genes of our dominance. Why will you say that?
So there's a psychological barrier as well.
And thank God we didn't concede. The way, I don't know how my BP went when they nearly got that penalty. And that's Charlie, let's give credit to Wallacott. That save with his leg, was it the left one?
Yeah, Moses Simon.
Was it the right foot? Or
both feet, actually. Because
goalkeepers, go and check the great goalkeepers that I accept. I know many people accept are good goalkeepers. They use their either their leg, the right one or the left one to save. Neuer, Peter Schmeichel,
even the man
the great ones, they use the
hair.
So he was able to do that because that ball was a goal. And then the penalty. And that one with the number 10, the one who in the first half he had a chance and he just blew it away. So the moment they didn't score, I said the thing psychologically, yeah.
So which means that there's a certain pressure on them,
and we can ride on that. And I am believing that we are going to really ride on that.
Are you thinking about tactics or more psychology and motivation? When the Black Stars play Nigeria, some people say it's like Has Kotoko. It doesn't go according to form. Is it true?
We are having the three. The motivation the boys have gotten, I was ending on that one, on that note, that the young ones who have not even played before, Afina, look at how he played. So now what again does he want to see? So now you're going to tell that, oh, I can go and don't be surprised he can score. Don't be surprised even the one people were attacking, Jordan. They were attacking that. He didn't do that, and Atta was saying it and all those. You will not be surprised he will score a goal. Because it is time that he will also say that, no, let me prove something. And he's motivated to do something different. And these are positives for us. And the young one, Fatao and Co, they now say that, oh no, these guys, they said they had that and they couldn't even shoot.
They've matched them in the first leg, so their level of confidence is high.
And the pressure, like Gideon said, is super. And Dennis Odoi, man, guys.
Dennis Odoi. Let me ask Harrison about Dennis. Harrison, you are one of our best left backs we've seen in a long time. Right backs. I know he plays both sides actually.
Yes, he does.
What did you make of Dennis Odoi's performance in the first leg?
Sorry?
What did you make of Dennis Odoi's performance in the first leg, the left back for us?
Right back.
Right back. Sorry, the right back.
Right back.
Yes.
No, he was okay. He was good. Because I think that's his first game for us, and then he came in with a lot of good passion. He was able to join attack whenever we needed him. So I mean, he was good. We just need to give him more time and then keep supporting him.
How important was it for us to keep a clean sheet? You are a defender. When you look at our back four, Jiku, Amate, and then the two on the wings, what did you make of our defensive performance and their connection with the goalkeeper?
Yeah, I mean, the communication level was high, and then big shout outs to the goalkeeper, Wolacott. He made a great save, that was so important because they nearly scored us, as Mr. Samir said. So big shout outs to him. We need to keep improving on that, not only the defense, because in soccer, defense starts from attack. When you have good attackers and then they start defending well, everybody start defending well as well. So they should keep going.
Let me just ask about Africa and playing at home and away. At home, it looks like there's a lot of support that could lead to pressure. So in Kumasi, the fans are singing, they want you to score. Versus if you play away, I know you've played some very interesting World Cup qualifiers away. You've done Sudan, you've done all kinds of places. How does it work? Is it easier playing away when the home fans of the opponent expect more from them, or is it easier playing at home?
Okay, I don't know about other players, but I'll talk for myself. For me, it's more easier to play home, because you get your fans, you got your loved ones like behind you. And then talking about away games, anything can happen. The intimidation and then stuff you go into the game before you go into the game. It's very difficult. Like traveling and everything. Talking about Africa, it's very difficult. So I mean, you as a player, you need to psych yourself before the game, because in Africa we don't get things on a silver platter. So I mean. You just need to psych yourself and then make sure you are ready to go. Like when you should be like more than 100% ready.
What does a Nigeria game mean, and what's your advice to the players? Of course, we the fans, we think Nigeria is our biggest game. Is that the same for you, the players? Is the Nigeria game our biggest?
Every game for a player is a biggest game. It's a big game for every player. Not only Nigeria, but. Talking about this game, this is a World Cup qualifier, and I know what it means. We want to go to the World Cup again and then make history. So, I mean, my little advice is they should just calm down. They should be themselves and then play their normal game. Mistakes will come, sure, but I mean they should ride on the mistakes and then make sure they will deliver, because it's not gonna be easy. And then I believe we're gonna get the first goal and then we keep riding on that.
Oh, you think we'll get the first goal? That's good. But if we get the first goal, it means that even if they equalize, we qualify.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you actually believe we'll qualify?
Yeah, we just have to go. We just have to get a first goal. When you get a first goal, you get more confidence and then you play your game.
Wow. We'll come back. This is still the point of view. We're talking the World Cup qualifiers. We'll take predictions when we come back. There are 4 other games that are taking place. So the times have changed. So our game is now 5. Don't forget on Friday, our game was the last game, but now our game is the first game. There are some very interesting matchups. It looks like the North Africans have taken a good lead because Tunisia got a 1 goal against Mali. Mali has a very good team. The Moroccans had a 1-1 draw at DRC. Algeria had a 1-0 away at Cameroon. Egypt has a 1 goal at home to Senegal. We'll talk about that when we come back. Plus predictions from my panel. What is the predicted score for Ghana, Nigeria, 5 p.m. Tuesday? Stay with us. Welcome back. Tonight is a soccer night on The Point of View, and we are powering the Black Stars to victory against the Super Eagles. My guest Atapoku on Zoom in Kumasi, Daniel Kranting, is joining us from Lagos. Harrison Affle is in the U.S. I think it's in Seattle. Charlotte.
North Carolina.
Okay, Charlotte, North Carolina. And I have Samolini Madu here in Accra in the studio with Fento Tai referring to. I want to go to Atapoku and just take his prediction for the Nigeria game. Atapoku, thanks for staying with us. You've delivered a 0-0 for us in Kumasi. What are we going to do in Abuja? When you look in the bottle, what do you see?
1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
Are we scoring first or they are scoring first?
We are scoring first.
We are scoring first. Do you know who is scoring our goal?
Jordan,
hey!
Yeah.
Then this one you consulted, Pao. Jordan, are you?
Yeah.
What is the feeling among Kumasi fans after the game, and what are they saying? Because I know you do shows, people calling. What are people? Because Daniel was telling us the Nigerians are not that optimistic. There's pressure on their team. They don't even think they can fill the stadium. Whereas I'm told Ademola Lukman said he has never seen anything like he saw in Kumasi in terms of the turnout. What are Kumasi fans saying now that we have a second leg coming up?
They are literally begging Black Stars. Once they do, that will be enough to frustrate the Nigerians and get something out of them. So, repeat, that's all they are asking for. They felt that performance was one that came out of their heart. They really wore their heart on their sleeve. If they do that again, certainly they are going to get a result that would qualify us to Qatar.
Wow. So you are optimistic, Kumasi fans are optimistic. Let me turn to Daniel in Abuja. So Daniel, what else do we need to know ahead of the kickoff at 5 p.m.?
Bernard, one thing I forgot to mention was a very interesting thing I picked up speaking to a couple of journalists. And they said this team, the relationship this team has with the public, is very different from previous Nigerian teams. And they call this team a foreign team. They say they don't have enough access to the team in terms of interviews. They are not able to get that relationship with the team. So they feel a bit alienated from the team. And what topped it off was, per the rules, the last training session before the game, the first 15 minutes is supposed to be open to the press. But the Super Girls asked for it to be a closed-door session. So even Nigerian journalists didn't get to witness that training session. And that completely pissed them off. They were really angry with that decision. And it just went on to buttress that point that they were making. The fact that the public feels very alienated from this team. The fact that there are a lot of foreign-born Nigerians in this team. They don't have, when they come in town, they are not allowed to have access to the team and things like that. So that's also another thing that is playing against the Super Eagles team. But they're also a group of people who are very confident going into this game. But look, the body language I saw from the Black Stars, it gave me a lot of confidence from this. And when you see a group of people who have such a huge task ahead of them in just under 24 hours, and they look so relaxed going into it, you can only feel positive about it. You can tell that they are not allowing the pressure to get to them. And that will, if it continues like that, that could play to Ghana's advantage. And that's what Atapoku is saying. If Ghana are able to get the first goal, I really don't see Nigeria coming back. When you look at history, how they've handled pressure in recent times, you look at them going down a goal against Tunisia, how they failed to recover. They went on to get frustrated, got a red card in Iwobi. If you go back to the last game that even qualified them to this stage of the playoffs, it was at home against Cape Verde, where they were playing at home. They needed to avoid defeat. They scored first in 1 minute. Then after 6 minutes, Cape Verde equalized. And it was a very nervous display till the final whistle. In fact, it took a very good save in the last minute before Nigeria were able to escape with that 1-1 draw. So playing at home, they don't really handle that pressure well. And when you look at the Black Star side, the fact that they are bereft of pressure, they are very calm. You have confidence going into the game that Ghana may be able to get the result tomorrow.
So you are bringing back at least one goal?
Oh, we'll score. And if they are not lucky, if Ghana scores early in the first half, if they are not lucky, we can finish the first half 2-3.
Hey, Charlie, your view is high. Where is the goal coming from?
You see, I have not come to Abuja to come back to defeat. It's not going to happen. I have not gone to Abuja.
You've not traveled to Abuja to come back empty-handed?
No. I'm bringing the tickets to Qatar.
You are bringing the ticket to Qatar?
Yes, we are going.
Well, if you bring the qualification, we'll add something to your salary. So you have to pray. You have to do all the Akbala you can. If you can come back with the qualification part, it means
I'm waking up very early tomorrow to go and talk to Jordan Ayew. Very early. I'm going to get the scoring boots on him.
But is Andre in Abuja?
No, I didn't see him today. Maybe he will arrive.
Maybe he'll come tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll come tomorrow.
All right, thank you. Let me come back in studio. But let me go to Harrison and take his prediction before I come back. Harrison, can you give me a prediction for tomorrow?
Yeah, it's a win. 1 or 2 goals from Ghana.
Ghana is winning.
Ghana is winning for sure.
Wow. Who is scoring the goal?
Kudus and Jordan.
Kudus and Jordan. Charlie, everybody says Jordan. Atapoku says Jordan. Daniel says Jordan.
I say Jordan.
You also say Jordan?
Yeah. My MP called me and actually told me that Ghana, it was going. I already tweeted the scoreline.
1-1.
Yes.
And Jordan would score.
And he said Jordan would score. I didn't add that in the tweet, but that's what he said.
Hey, everybody.
Yes. And this man, Mohammed Supar, MP for Sisala West, he doesn't follow football. He just called me out of nowhere.
His malam just called him and said, he saw something this morning.
If it doesn't happen there.
Don't tell me Jordan is scoring.
Well, I said, don't be surprised, and it should be a motivation. What's happening should be a motivation for him to prove something. But if I have to predict who will score, it will be difficult. But Afina Jan.
For a first timer, how did you make of Afina Jan's? What do you make of his performance?
Super. He has a bright future. I spoke to Asamajan. He told me the boy has a lot.
What does Asamajan think about his namesake?
There are some things he will also try, if he gets the opportunity,
to impact on him.
Impact on him, and that is,
there's something in the Jan name.
The boy, he also actually they also come. He also comes from the same area.
He's a BA boy.
Oh, they are both from BA.
Yeah, Wenchi area. So they are all from the same area. So
wow,
you shouldn't be surprised. Apart from him, I think the fact is, to me, I keep saying that we'll qualify. If you remember my show here, we'll qualify. Now it should be a draw. That would be painful for the Nigerians.
I actually think...
And we should score first.
I think Partey will score a free kick.
Partey...
If he has the chance,
Partey will be released in this game than the Kumasi game. They didn't give him space.
I think they wanted him to contain and prevent Nigerians from scoring.
And even the Nigerians didn't even give him space. If he watched the game well.
But they've been seeing him.
They never gave... They didn't, and the few spaces he had, look at the passes he gave. And those passes nearly gave us a goal.
So you feel the coach may get another defensive and play Partey in the...
I think it was more of a tactical arrangement, mostly because Baba Idrisu was given the opportunity to always withdraw and slot in between the two centre backs to progress the ball. And every time he withdraws, that extra Nigerian midfielder is there to join up to tackle Partey. So you realize that Baba Idrisu didn't even get a lot of passes to Partey. In that, so Partey wasn't able to impact the play as much as possible. So
you think they'll change that?
They might change that.
It will change by defolt because now they need a goal.
Nigerians will be attacking.
And so that's where we hope that space will be there for Partey to operate. And maybe if we want to talk, you see, I spoke about the fact that the guys are not under pressure. The other thing is that psychologically, motivation-wise, mentally, we are ahead of the Nigerians. And then we have a good technical bench.
Charlie, that team is strong.
What I expect them to do, which I didn't like a little, was that the subs delayed.
Substitutions took too long.
You can't play games like this, and then Eguavon by 70th minute,
he had done all his subs,
but we did ours almost in the 80th minute. That is what I pray and I wish and I hope that our coaches will do that, because you can't keep a player when he repeats a mistake. A coach must react. When a player repeats a mistake, repeats it, and you don't react, like people were talking about.
But do you have a strong bench?
Super. We do. Actually, much stronger than the team that started.
Really?
Especially in the attacking areas.
Every area.
Who else is good apart from
the Pencil boy?
Joseph Pencil.
He was super in the AFCON. And he's playing regular.
And a very good goal scorer.
The Bukari guy, Nantes. He's playing, and he played against PSG. And look at how he was tormenting him. And then he goes and comes. He's somebody who also does that. And then even in the attack, if Afena is not there, you have the other young guy too. What's his name?
Kwesi Rate,
and then the other one.
There's Christopher and Ncheche as well.
And then PSG guy. But now that you know you have confidence in Afena, you keep him, you give him the confidence, which we've done that. Now you can change the wingers. They will do a lot of runs. So if they get tired, change them early. That is the only thing. But apart from that, technically, tactically, I think we have a very good bench when it comes to reading the game, trying to vary the game, trying to change our game plan to suit what we have. And like I told you, if they try to be on the offensive more, and Partey gets space, it's another plus for us, which you are saying that Partey can score from any angle.
Yeah, Partey can score
and
from anywhere.
If he gets that space, and he can give that, the guy say boomy pass, he can give the pass. Boomy pass. That pass
defense
is a goal.
splitting pass. Yeah.
That pass is a goal. And if he gets that space, because they want to score, and we score first, which that is what I can see. If we score first and we want to score first, and we should score first. If we score, we are going to score first. Okay, not if. We are going to score first.
And when we score first.
And when we score first, they will be more frustrated.
So Atapoku says 1-1. Harrison Afful says we'll score 2. Jordan and
I love the 1-1.
Danny K says Jordan will score.
He said if we score first, we'll score 3.
You say 1-1.
Yeah.
And you say
games like this, Bernard, if you will see more goals, then there will be a problem in the team.
So it will be a low scoring game.
Yes, because if the Nigerians lose concentration and they get frustrated, they will punish them. The same thing applies to us. If we also lose concentration and we go and concede early,
let me ask a difficult question. If we don't qualify, will the FA stay with this technical team?
The technical team was given a mandate. This particular team was given a mandate for those 2 games.
Just the 2 games. Then they
so that we'll have
review
time to review and then take a long.
So whatever happens, you look at their performance and decide what to do.
Yes. So that's the situation.
Well, before you sleep, pray for the Black Stars. If you're watching this on Tuesday, the game is probably in an hour and a half. Let's keep believing that Ghana will fly to Qatar and they will make us proud. If we get to Qatar, I'm sure we'll do better than 2010 if we can get our act together, because 2010 is still our best performance in the tournament. I've been speaking to a very crack team. I had all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina, one of Ghana's best, Harrison Afful, one of our quickest. Harrison Afful says we're going to win. I also had from Abuja, Daniel Cranton, who says he's going to tell Jordan Ayew to score so that he'll get his salary increased. We also had Atapoku from Kumasi. The Kumasi fans delivered 60,000. They've done their part. I had in studio Samalini Mado, who is an EXCO member of the Ghana Football Association and head of sports at Citi, Fento Tahiru Fento. Go Black Stars, go. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in Qatar 2022. Bye-bye.